Good morning, students. I hope you have completed your task. That's why today we will start our class by solving that numerical so that you can rectify it whether you have done it correctly or there is some fault. Okay. So let us once again recapitulate the question what I have given. That was the find the pressure created by a force of 15 Newton. That was the 15 Newton. So the force was of 15 Newton. So here at first we will write, I have already written this. For solution at first what we will write the given. So what are the given here? Given here the force. So the force is given F equals to 15 Newton. Now acting perpendicularly on a surface of area. So two areas are given. So the number one area is of 5 meters square and the second area is of 3 centimeters square. So let us solve the numerical for the first one. So what is that? That is area. I have written A1 is equals to 5 meters square. Now what we know? We know what was the relation, that is pressure P equals to F by A1. So F by A1 means 15 Newton by 5 meters square. 15 Newton by 5 meters square, and hence it will become pressure P equals to 3 Newton per meter square or 3 Pascal. So the first answer is 3 Pascal. Whereas while solving the next one, as you can see, the area is given in centimeter square. So at first what we have to do, we have to change the centimeter into meter. So that's why I have written area A2 equals to 3 centimeters square equals to 3 into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter. Now what we know? We know 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. What does this implies? This implies that 1 centimeter equals to 1 by 100 meter. So how can I change this? I will change this in this way. I hope it will not be visible if I will write there. So let us do it here. So 3 centimeter is equals to 3 into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter. What does this mean? 3 into 1 by 100 meter into 1 by 100 meter. So this is equals to 3 by 10,000 meter square. So now we will be solving it. So therefore pressure P equals to F by A2, which implies, or better I will write here, F is given 15 Newton and area is given 3 by 10,000 meters square. So from this what we can write? P equals to 15 by 3 into 10,000 Newton per meter square. So this is going to be 5 into 10,000 Pascal. That is 50,000 Pascal. So now you can compare. Just compare it by reducing the area. As we all know that 5 meters square is much greater than 3 centimeters square. So when the area is more, the pressure was less. It was of only 3 Pascal. But when the area is less, then what we got? We got the pressure P2 is much more than P1. So if we will reduce the pressure keeping the force same, if we will reduce the area keeping the force same, then what we will get? We will get the pressure much more. So from this you can conclude, from this numerical, what we can conclude? Write down. When force is constant, then pressure is inversely proportional to area. That means pressure is proportional to 1 by area. So pressure is inversely proportional to area. That is, with the increase of area, pressure will decrease, and vice versa. What does this mean? Means that if you will increase the area, the pressure is going to decrease, and if you will decrease the area, then the pressure will increase. Okay. Now, number 2. This is number 1. Number 2. That is when area is constant. Then pressure is directly proportional to the force. The pressure is directly proportional to the force. What does this mean? This means that if you will increase the force, the pressure will increase. That is, with the increase of force, pressure will, with the increase of force, the pressure will increase. Okay. So this is the thing you have to keep it in your mind. You must be wondering for this. So let us take one more example. So this is going to be your homework. Find the pressure created on an area of 12 meters squared when the forces are, number 1 is 24 Newton and number 2 is 36 Newton. So what does this mean? That you have to calculate the pressure when the force is 24 Newton acting on the area of dimension 12 meter square, and again with the application of 36 Newton, how much pressure you are getting for the same area. So this is your homework. I think you can do it very easily. So for now, let us tell you few real life application of these two results. So have you seen a nail? Yes. For a nail, you will always find that one top of the nail is blunt and the other one is sharp. So why it is so? Because on the portion which we want to put inside some another object, that portion has to be sharp. Otherwise, you have to apply a greater force to complete your work. Because as what we have learned, with the decrease of area, with small amount of force, we can create a huge pressure. Only by decreasing the area with a very small amount of force, we can create a huge pressure which will help us to penetrate the pin inside some object. But on the other side, what is that? That head is always kept blunt, because otherwise that may penetrate your hammer, that may penetrate your finger if you are for a board pin. If the other side is not blunt and you are trying to put the board pin with the help of your finger, then you will hurt your finger. So that's why for a pin, one side is always sharp compared to the other side. And let me give you one more example. For a heavy load carrying bags, let us take the example of your school bag. Why the strips? Why the strips are padded? Why they are broad? Because with the help of broadness, they try to reduce the pressure on your shoulder. So you will never prefer a bag with a rope strip which will carry a huge load, because that hurts. Even for a bucket, you can think that a bucket with a metal round thin strip hurts much more compared to a bucket with a broad handle, because that distributes the pressure on your hand. So what happens with the increase of the area, the pressure decreases. That's why we prefer broad handles for the buckets as well as broad strips for the school bags. Let me give you one more example. For the cutting knife and the butter knife. What is the difference between the cutting knife and the butter knife? You will always find that the cutting knife has a very sharp edge, whereas the butter knife that has a blunt edge. Why? Because a butter knife, with the help of butter knife, what we do, we cut the butter, and butter is very soft. So we don't need a very sharp edge. But with the help of that butter knife, what we do, we just spread the butter on the bread. But if the edge is very sharp, then it will cut the bread and you won't be able to eat the bread in its proper way. So that's why a butter knife, the edge of the butter knife is always kept blunt. But for the cutting knife, you need to cut different types of vegetables. So that's why we make the edge of the cutting knife very sharp. So these are the things which are best on this concept. So wherever we need to do the work very smoothly, we want to reduce the area by creating a huge pressure with the help of a minimum force. And if we don't need a good amount of pressure, then what we do? We increase the area and thus we get a minimum amount of pressure. You can do it at your home. If the sands are available, then you can put it on a tray. How we will do it? This is a very good experiment you can perform anywhere. It's very simple. Just take a tray and over there you just fill the tray with a stand. Don't push it. Don't push it and make a rigid structure. Just pour some amount of sand in the tray. In that way you take 2 trays. Or if the tray is wide enough, then you can also do it in 1 tray. So now what you will do, take 2 bricks. So in 1 tray, you keep the brick like this. Keep the brick like this. Okay. And in another tray, you keep the brick like this. Okay, now what difference you will see? When you will keep the brick like this, the depression produced in the sand tray, the depth of the depression will be much small compared to this one. Why? You all know the answer. Because the area is much smaller for this case, whereas the area is much bigger for this one. So this, when you will put the same brick, once with this side on the sand and once with this side on the sand, then it, because of its larger area, it will create less pressure compared to this one. So this is one good experiment. If the sand is available at your home, don't go outside because it is not safe right now. So if it is available at your home, you can try this and observe the difference by yourself. Okay, so in our next class, we will be discussing the pressure exerted by the fluid. Do you remember what is fluid? Yes, in our previous class, previous year we have discussed, not in previous class, in previous year we have discussed fluid is anything that can flow. So it can be gases, it can be liquids. So they also create pressure. So in our next class we are going to study the pressure exerted by fluids. Till then, keep practicing and thank you.